Welcome to the Life on Your Terms podcast with me, your host, Tracey Liv Howard. My intention is that each episode helps you remember who you are and serves to inspire and support you to reach your most important goals and live life on your terms. Let's get into today's episode. The emotion of the heart is joy. According to traditional Chinese medicine, something that I love researching is that every organ in our body has an emotion corresponding to it. And the emotion of the heart is joy. It's not love, it's joy. And when we experience feeling joy, we actually feed our hearts. And the heart is the most affected part of our body when we're lacking joy in our lives. In today's society, people are often overworked, overscheduled, and overstressed. It's causing a lot of stressors on the heart. And no wonder that people are desperate to experience that spark, that joy, a feeling of aliveness, a feeling of exhilaration. That's what makes life worth living, and that's what feeds our hearts. If we're lacking joy, it's weakening our heart, and a weakened heart can depress our spirit. And so you may be listening to this episode thinking, yes, I want to be in more of a state of joy and aliveness. Well, we've got to look to the heart. Eckhart Tolle talks about that there really are only 3 states where we do anything, any task, anything in our life. We need to be doing it from either a place of acceptance, of enjoyment, or of enthusiasm. So he said, if we're basically not in either acceptance, enjoyment, or enthusiasm with anything that we're doing, we are not awake. We are unconscious. He said, take doing the dishes, okay? We might be in a state of acceptance that we have to clean them. That just means we're not in resistance or angry or bitter that we've got to clean them. We're just accepting what is. Or out at work. You may just accept that it's tax season, okay? And you've got to file your taxes and do all that. Now, it might not bring you enjoyment or enthusiasm, which are words of the heart, but being in a state of acceptance allows that flow of energy to keep going. However, at work or at home, our hearts need enjoyment and enthusiasm to be fed. That some of the work we do, we've got to have that enthusiasm and putting ourselves fully into the work, or enjoyment with our colleagues, enjoyment of the process. That is what our heart is craving. And I'll ask you, what are you enthusiastic about? What do you enjoy? And do you have enough of it? And I'm asking these questions. It's okay if they have nothing to do with work or making money. They can just be simply truths that come from your heart. Like for me, I love and am enthusiastic about ice hockey and Vietnamese food, reading books, and going on running on my favorite trail by the ocean. Those things bring me enjoyment and enthusiasm into my life. And in Chinese medicine, they're saying that they are filling up my heart's energy, my heart space of joy. In business, I'm enthusiastic to make this podcast. I enjoy these messages and writing and preparing for what I'm going to say. My heart is really happy right now. These are things that are lighting me up. And what's interesting is the connection between our hearts and our minds. The Heart Math Institute said that your heart sends more bits of information up to your brain than your brain sends down to your heart. So this has been scientifically proven. Touch your heart and point your finger up to your brain. Your heart right now is sending more bits of information about your body, the environment, your feelings, what you're wanting, up to your brain than your brain sending back. And so let's think about this. We've been a society that's really loved mindset and our brain. And trust me, I love it. I read a lot about these things. But I wanted to make some of my first episodes of this podcast reminding us of the wisdom that's within the heart, that our heart needs to be taken extremely seriously. Is my heart in this job or not? is my heart in this podcast episode or not? Am I feeling joy when I'm at home, or joy when I'm going to the grocery store? Now, I'm not saying that, everything in life is going to be full of joy and enthusiasm. We may need to step into a place of acceptance that, wow, it's a rough ride. I've got to just accept this, but I would also say that for life on your terms, find where those little bits of joy can come in. How can you bring a little joy to your work today? What would that look like? Who would you bring the joy to? How would you do that? How about bringing a little joy to your home life tonight? What would some joy at home look like? Or honestly, what about just a little bit of joy with the strangers and acquaintances that you have in your daily life, maybe at a grocery store, or when you're ordering a drink in the cafe? I'm thinking of this British word that I heard a lot in London called cheeky. And being cheeky is like, oh, you're being a bit cheeky today. It's a bit, playful and fun and cheeky. And so maybe there's just a little bit of playful cheekiness that you can bring to these little moments in your life, because your heart is talking. Your heart's attempting to direct you and align you to the next version of your purpose and where you want to be. So please allow that joy, the heart's energy, to really speak and guide you. And to close, I want to say that there is a reason why courage, the word courage, has the word cur in it, which means heart. Courage is of the heart. It takes courage to reach for joy, courage to find your spark and aliveness. And the Latin root for courage also means of the heart. And so please have the courage to live more joyfully and in the heart. You will be rewarded greatly for it. A big thank you for listening to this episode. I truly hope you got what you needed. If you want to get more from me each week, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes or bonus content. To be notified of new episodes, workshop opportunities, and more, subscribe to my email list by heading to the link in this episode description. I'm wishing you joy, happiness, and love.